focusing on sleep. So this is part of a 4-week series. This is tied in with our Back to the Basics. So the idea is to get everybody focusing on habits that are working on lifestyle choices that can affect us in all areas of wellness. So we're not just focusing on one particular area. And that's where we learn about the importance of all these different components of wellness. So that's where this focus comes in on tonight, which again is sleep, which is I think probably one of the most under talked about areas of us improving health, because it's not very often that people actually realize all of the side effects that can happen from not getting enough sleep. And this is interesting. Everything from premature aging to the ability to balance to, if you see that there, if you sleep less than 5 hours a day, it increases your risk of death by up to 15%. Like, the statistics are there to support the importance of sleep. Even when we talk about increasing cortisol production, the more cortisol levels we have, the more inflammation we have, and you'll see how that's even related and correlated with things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So our goal should be to get, if you see down there for adults, around 8 hours of sleep a night. So for some of us, I know that can be a challenge, but it is something to work towards. So noting the importance of sleep here, guys. So, all right. So as we're going here, like I said, guys, if you want to add anything as you're thinking as we're going here of something, please do. And tonight I'm going to be giving away here a box of blueberry meal bars. If you haven't had these, we talked last week,
but he was almost kind
of like about meal planning, and this is an excellent meal that is super easy and super quick and will be very handy for you. All right, guys, so let's get into giving you some ideas of how we can learn more about our sleep. I am a huge fan of fitness trackers as far as using some type of watch. So for me, I have a Polar watch, but I know a lot of us, have Apples, have Garmin's, have Fitbits, but most of them now have something that you can pair to your phone that will actually give you an overview and a picture of your sleep each night. And every product is a little bit different. But I loved some of these will actually tell you your stages of sleep. And this is also something that's very interesting. If you've ever known someone that has mentioned they've had to, with sleep apnea, they've had to do, sleeping with oxygen during the night, and they've really struggled with figuring out how to improve their sleep. Most of the time it's because they're not actually getting to that deep sleep. And this is where understanding how much movement you have during your sleep or certain patterns that you can work to figure out maybe a solution that could help you. And when we talk about solutions, I want you guys to just really be thinking here for a second that in our different stages of life, our situations are always changing. And this is something we've kind of realized too, especially women, you'll notice hormones can affect your sleep. You'll notice sometimes your eating habits change. If you're starting to increase more caffeine, stress levels increasing, there are so many things. So this is why being aware can actually be the first step in helping you to make positive changes. So this screen here is just a very simple slide here, just to kind of get you, looking at here some of the basic tips. And these are not new to anyone, but trying to get on a consistent schedule. So, trying to go around the same time to bed each night is very important. And I have found the most positive research says that 10 o'clock is your best time to go to bed in order to get enough time in your deep sleep pattern. So if you stay up past 10, it's more likely you'll get a second wind and then you can't fall asleep later. So just something to know, trying to make sure your devices, guys, I'm going to be sharing here a few apps that some people find helpful. But I know some of us actually cannot even keep their phones in their room because it's a distraction. So you might even want to look at, we just talked the other day, me and my husband are here, that we were saying, maybe we need to get an alarm clock so we don't even have our phone in our room, because it is easy to check that. You hear a ding, it vibrates, whatever, and it kind of triggers a certain part of your brain to wake up again. So just something to think about. Your phone, again, talking about looking at what you're eating before bed and looking at how you can get natural support for sleep. And we also want to note that exercise should be part of this too, guys. They have found definitely things like strength training can really improve your sleep, and doing things that are, making you more active during the day will naturally help you to be more tired at night. And that can really help with regular sleep patterns. So good, Chris, 9:30, perfect. I agree, especially some of us to get up really early. Yeah, you have to get to bed earlier. So that's very true. So what do many people lead to for natural sleeping options. And I just had, and I won't say who it was because we are just talking before the Zoom here, but many things to help them sleep, like over the counter options because of different reasons. Maybe, they feel like they wake up during the night, or pain, they can't fall asleep, or for some people, it can actually be they can't shut their mind down. So they don't know how to calm themselves. So they turn to things like sleeping pills. And this can be anything over the counter or a prescription. But the thing I want you to realize is anytime you are looking at taking something over the counter, there are side effects. And you don't always correlate that some of these side effects could be worse than the actual problem you're trying to solve. And they can be used temporarily. We're not saying that there's not needs for some things now and then, but they can also become a dependent factor. And then you're going to notice long-term issues from using some of these things. So we just want to be very cautious and realize that there are side effects, and we want to know what we're putting in our bodies and trying to find some natural solutions. So we are just going to kind of really quickly talk through some things that we have found to be helpful. And we are, big advocates, myself and some of our teammates, we bring you guys these Zooms because we are passionate about educating. We want to help. We want to make a difference. And we know that we use these products. We use them with our family, our clients, our friends, and we know that they work. For over 100 years, these products have been, relied upon and really do make a difference in providing natural help. So the first one I want to mention here really quickly is Osteomatrix. Now, it is very common to be familiar with magnesium as being a natural relaxant, and it's very true. But one of the things that is really great about this particular product, the clinical studies that are behind this that have found both types of the calcium, the carbonate and the citrate, when they are put together, they provide the best absorption. And they combine that with the vitamin D and the minerals that also increase the absorption. You're going to know that it's going to get your body to be able to not just absorb it, but work faster. So taking that before bed, that can be an awesome solution to help you relax. And even taking straight magnesium is also a good option. I know a lot of people also use that as an option. There's also a chewable version of that. So for kids, that's a good thing to note. Growing pains, we give that to our kids a lot before bed. If you notice they're waking up and complaining their legs hurt, or even issues with, nightmares, that's a very common one too. That's a great thing to know about for kids, is that chewable CalMag. Gentle Sleep Complex. This is a very common product. If you ever heard of chamomile, we're going to mention a couple foods that are helpful too for natural options, but chamomile is one of them that's used in many other countries for, many hundreds of years as a natural way to relax. So this has a combination of chamomile, valerian root, passion flower, and they are combined to work together to help you sleep better throughout the night. So if you're noticing you wake up, this would be a great thing to try to take right before bed to see if it can help you to sleep a little more sound throughout the night. So we also have Stress Relief Complex. Why would this affect your sleep? Oh my goodness. If you look at some of the research in what stress does to your body, even while you are sleeping, it is unbelievable. So we mentioned cortisol levels at the beginning there really fast, but your cortisol levels, the more that those levels are elevated, the harder time you are going to have to be able to calm yourself down and be able to rest. So what this does is ashwagandha is the main focus of this, that it will actually help to blunt those cortisol levels, but it makes it so you can find the ability to be able to be calm. And it's instant. Within like 15 minutes, your body absorbs that. So it's a perfect option for somebody that can't fall asleep. It definitely could be related to high stress levels. So something to mention also that I think is interesting is your laundry detergents, your fabric softeners, your chemicals can also be part of why people can't sleep. Very interesting that they have found there are certain chemicals that will trigger parts of your brain to not be able to shut down. And this can create symptoms like hyperactivity. So even finding a clean laundry detergent, that can be a great thing to try in fabric softeners, anything that has a scent to it. So, and one other one I have to mention here, because this is tied in with melatonin. Don't forget, guys, if you're thinking of some comments, things to add, suggestions, please put them in the comments, okay? And we'll make sure we look at these comments when we're done, and that will be our giveaway for tonight. But this Recover, this PM Recovery Complex, this, when you see it, you think it was designed for athletes because it's part of the sports nutrition line. But I cannot tell you the great things that it does for even helping you sleep. And one of the big components of this actually is tart cherry extract. And if you look at food sources that help with getting your body to be able to sleep better, they do say tart cherry is one of the foods that's a great thing to eat closer to bedtime. And this has no side effects. So when we look at what this does, it pulls inflammation from the body, but it also can help you sleep. If we look at something like melatonin, I put this in here directly from Mayo Clinic. So you guys know that this is legit. This isn't anything that's coming just from me, but research is showing that melatonin is generally only good for short-term use. And this is a problem because they're finding that people are starting even their kids on it, and they are on it for extremely long time. And this creates many side effects that they would never even think that could be related to something that they're trying to take naturally to help them sleep. So we want to be aware that just because something is natural, it doesn't always mean it's safe. So we do want to make sure we do our research to really understand that. So hopefully you guys read on the screen there some of those things also to note of even interactions with certain medications. Melatonin can have that, where if you're using something nature-based, like cherries, you do not need to worry about any interactions with any medication. So very important to highlight. All right, guys, let's get in here to a couple of quick ideas also to give you some natural options. There are some apps that are very helpful. I know Calm is a really popular one, and it actually tells you stories. It can help you, basically using, nice tones that they found can help people sometimes with being able to relax. So there's definitely free ones that then lead into options of being paid subscriptions. But if you are one that you like sound, you can actually set a timer and it will go off at a certain amount of time, but it'll give you some noise in the background, which even for traveling, that could be a great idea, is to just, be familiar with some of these apps. And also this book, this is a excellent read if you guys are looking for a little bit more details into strategies for sleeping. So many good tips. And again, it's a lot of related to what we're talking about here tonight, using natural strategies and not getting yourself into a place of where, you're stressing yourself out more because you can't sleep, which it sounds funny, but that actually happens. So we want to know how we can find the right options for us. And this is also when we talk about supplements, guys, we're not the same. We're going to have Jennifer Van Zanten sharing a little bit here too. And she will share how, her story is different than mine. Mine's different than everybody else's. We all have our things that work for us and things that we find works better with our bodies. But this is a part of the education, is for us to learn what are those things that work for us. And some of that's trial and error. But here's a few other fun ideas. Nuts actually have high doses of naturally occurring melatonin, not added, not taking in a supplement form, but taken a couple hours before bed can sometimes make a difference because they also have magnesium in there. Walnuts can also classify into the same category, but just an idea. But the thing is, you always got to watch your serving size, and I would not eat obviously too close to bedtime. So I said a couple hours before, that can be a great idea to try. We are also a big fan of using tea. If you guys ever heard of sleepy time tea, is a very popular one. And even straight chamomile, excellent thing. Something warm is very calming and soothing. I would have to say there's not necessarily, the research has not said that there is a direct correlation with improving your sleep, but it's that ability to get yourself to relax that can help you stay asleep and to be able to calm yourself down. So it's worth trying. So chamomile tea, just wanted to make sure you guys were familiar with that. And if you've never tried it, that's a very inexpensive option and thing to be able to find almost anywhere. So, but I do want to mention with teas, try your best to find a organic tea. Okay, so there is an organic sleepy time, and the organic options are going to make sure that your tea leaves do not have a heavy amount of pesticides or herbicides. And tea leaves are very concentrated. So they do say that that is a great product to try to make sure that you do find organic. So some we say not so important, but tea, it is important. So natural options. All right, guys, I am each week for these 4 weeks, making sure that we include a couple of recipes. And I'm trying to move my screen here a little bit. So you guys, if you want to screenshot a couple of these, feel free to. But we want to have, just some more ideas of simple things that we can do. And I love things like this that you can actually make ahead of time and freeze. But if you notice the ingredients in here, we talked about this last week of pairing your foods. We have in here your healthy fats. We have in here your protein, we have in here your healthy fiber, and we have in here your healthy fat. So we have a good combination of, if you're reading the ingredients there, not a lot of added sugar, not a lot of added processed hydrogenated oils, things that we're trying to avoid. Very simple, all real ingredients. So great little recipe. You guys are looking for something new to try. And then here's another one. This is also a kind of fun one that I'm a fan of that. You could make this at any time and be able to even have like the next morning, but making a chia pudding is an excellent way to have, again, you got your protein, you have your fruit in there. This one has the healthy fat with the chia seeds. So kind of a fun option. So feel free to screenshot that one too. And again, just to give you some, hopefully new ideas and things to think about. So, all right, Jennifer, I am going to have you share with us a moment. If you don't mind, just real quick, guys, I'll introduce Jennifer. Jennifer is one of our good friends. She is a huge health advocate, and we always love learning from her. She is naturally a teacher, and that's actually, I believe, what she does for most of her job. She is a great teacher and lives a very active lifestyle, so a great one to learn from. So, all right, Jennifer. I'm not sure if I can hear you. Uh-oh, you're frozen. Am I frozen?
I used to have a really hard time. I to. Can you hear me?
A little bit. It's a little bit cutting out.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep talking, Jennifer. I think we have a bad connection. Okay, I think she's coming back, guys. So we'll, I just saw here, guys, that someone just made a good point of commenting. Yes, now I can. Oh, now I can't.
That's okay. Really... I don't know. That's strange.
Oh,
everything was open, huh?
Okay, now you sound better, and I'll answer this question in a minute. So go ahead, Jennifer. I can hear you.
Okay, super. Well, I was just saying, I used to have a really hard time sleeping, and it took me a while to figure out, but I very much support all that Amanda said about a predictable schedule is super important. I also think it often has to do with digestion. You know, if we're going to bed and our digestive system is not working properly, it's going to impact our body temperature. It's going to impact, you know, our comfort level and our stress level too, because, you know, whenever you have pain or any sort of something wrong with a part of your body, it does cause a stress response in the rest of your body. And so figuring out, it took a while, but figuring out what I could do to promote digestion and just better overall wellness really helped with my sleep. Now I don't have any problems at all, but it really, we cut out a lot of processed foods. We cut out preservatives and artificial colors and flavors and making, you know, the added sugars like Amanda was talking about, and just eating a lot of whole foods. That helps. Everybody's different as far as what their body tolerates and doesn't tolerate well. And so I think finding that out and just kind of personally deciding, you know, what helps you feel the best is really important. Exercise for sure, having a schedule and making yourself get outside, making yourself be active throughout the day, whether it means getting up early or taking your lunch break to do it, I think is critical. And also things that you can do to reduce stress. I really feel like setting a pattern, you know, preparing your body to go to bed, just like Amanda had talked about, having things that you do every night that helps your body relax and unplug, I think is super critical. And then I have found, I do notice it if I don't take Vital Mag. I take Vital Mag, D, and calcium before bed. And I notice it, like it is definitely something that that helps my body to relax and go to sleep. And again, I'll lay in bed and I'll think, oh, I forgot, you know, because I can tell. So that's, I think, something that, you know, is a little bit different for everyone, but it certainly has helped me. My son was just texting today. He's off at college and he's saying, you know, he wasn't sleeping well. And so of course I asked him, well, do you have all your supplements? Oh, I guess I hadn't, but you know, I haven't been real regular taking them. Well, that's probably why, because that works really well for him too. So.
Great tips, Jennifer. Yeah, and you just brought up a lot of great points, guys. Yes, of getting out of your routine. That's where it's so nice to sometimes even, you know, we mentioned trackers or journaling a lot. Coming up with, look online for a free sleep tracker. Like you will be surprised that maybe some of your habits that you used to do aren't there anymore. And that could be part of why you're noticing your changes in sleep. And one other couple of good things you brought up, Jennifer, just to mention also, we didn't say getting outside. You're right, every day. Even right now, it's absolutely miserable outside, but even getting out for 10 minutes, it's still going to help give you, you know, some of the things you need to be able to help you with your sleep. And also, when you mentioned digestive health, I cannot tell you how many people, after they do the 7-day cleanse, say their sleep has improved so much. And yes, it's getting the toxins out of you, getting your system regulated. That really also can play a huge part in your sleep pattern. So that was a great thing to bring up. So thanks for sharing, Jennifer. We appreciate it. And any questions or comments, guys? And then I will do our drawing here. I had a few direct messages, so I'm just going to randomly pick a number and then I'll count here. So anybody have anything to add? Any other suggestions or tips? Hopefully it was helpful, guys. So I will, I'll randomly pick here real fast a number. And as I'm doing this here, I wanted to make sure you guys all know about this same Zoom link. This Wednesday, we will be having a team Zoom. So if you want to keep learning more about, you know, various products and information, we would love to have you guys as open up to any of our members, distributors, and friends. So you are always welcome. It looks like my thing picked a number 3 here from my random.org. So that is you, Darlene. You are the winner. Woohoo! Blueberry meal bars. Congratulations. I will get these to you. So nice work. Thanks for participating, guys. Next week, we are going to be focusing on hydration. So you don't want to miss next week. This is a really, again, crucial topic that I think during winter, this is even a great time to be maybe realizing how much you're neglecting drinking straight water. So tea does not count as water, just to end here. We'll get into that next week. So all right, guys, have a great night. Hope it was helpful. Take care.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.
Thanks.